Hare Krishna. Okay, are we starting? Should we start or can somebody help?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Pranam Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can start the session.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, can I?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome, Prabhuji. Your shloka today is 37 to 40.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet. Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavatir Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 6, verse 37. Okay. Upavishtam darbhamayam Drishyam Brahma Sanatanam Naradaya Pravochantam Pruchate Shunvatam Satam. Translation. He was seated on a straw mattress and speaking to all present, including the great sage Narada, to whom he specifically spoke about the absolute truth. So as you're all aware, so this is all the demigods are all coming to meet Lord Shiva to appease him, to please him, So that I think previous verses you would have heard, you would have read about the description of Kailash, the beautiful Kailash. And then there is a huge banyan tree, many miles huge. And then Lord Shiva is sitting there. I mean, what is he doing? He was seated on a straw mattress and speaking to all present, including the great sage Narada, to whom he specifically spoke about the absolute truth. Brahma Sanatanam. Brahma Sanatanam. Purport: the Lord was sitting on a mattress of straw because such a sitting place is accepted by persons who are practicing austerities to gain understanding of the absolute truth. In this verse, it is specifically mentioned that he was speaking to the great sage Narada, a celebrated devotee. Narada was asking Lord Shiva about devotional service, and Shiva, being the topmost Vaishnava, was instructing him. In other words, Lord Shiva and Narada were discussing the knowledge of the Veda. But it is to be understood that the subject matter was devotional service. Another point in this connection is that Lord Shiva is the supreme instructor and the great sage Narada is the supreme audience. Therefore, the supreme subject matter of Vedic knowledge is bhakti or devotional service. So we know all this, we know this, we've heard. So Vyasadev was unhappy. He was not happy even after he reorganized the Vedas. He didn't write the Veda, he reorganized the Veda. When Vedas were spoken from the four mouths of Brahma. And all the four mouths are speaking simultaneously. So what happened was all the verses were mixed up, or it was not segregated for meaningful consumption. So Vyasadeva then actually he segregates them into four. So makes us, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Sama, Atharva. Now, even after having done that, Vyasadeva was not happy. And as he was contemplating about the reason for his state of mind, then his spiritual master, Sri Narada Muni, he appears there. And then Narada Muni directly chastises Vyasadeva. He says that, are you happy by considering the mind and body as the objects of self-realization? And he says that you've written the Vedas where the emphasis is on dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And people are going to get distracted by this dharma, artha, kama that is described in the Vedas, and this is not good. This is not good. And they're not even going to accept any kind of rules and regulations. They will just follow whatever is there in the Veda and just not bother for any kind of restrictions. Just like people before the advent of Buddha, right? They were using Vedas as the reason for animal sacrifices, and this was foreseen by Narada. So he says, are you happy by doing all this? And also, yeah, there's so much of description about Brahman. But still you're not pleased. And then actually Vyasadeva is also, before he was thinking, saying that, yeah, I have all the knowledge that is to be known, but still I'm not happy. Then Prabhupada says, if the author of Vedanta Sutra himself is not happy by reading that, what about the hearers? What about the audience? How are they going to be happy by reading all this? So the supreme subject matter was missed out. The supreme subject matter of Vedic knowledge is bhakti, Bhagavan and bhakti. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Vedeshcha sarver ahameva vedyaha Vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Krishna is saying, I am Vedanta krit. I am the creator of Vedas. Vedanta vit. I am the knower of the Vedas. And I am to be known. Vedesha sarver ahameva vedyaha. Vedyaha. Vedyaha means object of knowledge. So he's saying, I am the one who's supposed to be known through all the Vedas. But unfortunately, people get stuck. Bhoga Ishwarya Prasaktanam Taiha Parata Chetasam. Or what is that other verse? Vedavada Rata Partha Nanyatastiti Vadinaha. Kamatmana Swargapara Dharma Karma Phala Pradam Kriya Vishesha Bholam Bhoga Ishwarya Gatim Prati. So people are all carried away by the flowery language of the Vedas. And then Bhogaishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Apharata Chetasa, their mind, their heart, everything is stolen by Bhoga and Aishwarya. So that is not the intent of the Veda. So then Krishna is saying Bhogaishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Apharata Chetasa Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samadho Na Vidiyate. Then he will not have Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, fixed intelligence for the goal of all knowledge, which is Bhagavan and Bhakti connected. So when Prabhupada says this, when two devotees meet, they're going to talk about devotion. And they could be discussing any kind of what knowledge, even seemingly mundane knowledge will also be being discussed just to understand the relevance, the bhakti, the aspects of bhakti. So here Lord Shiva and Narada were discussing the knowledge of the Vedas, but it is to be understood that the subject matter was actually devotional service. And another point is that Shiva is the supreme instructor and the great sage Narada is the supreme audience. I don't know. So if any time during this series of lectures on this topic, have you all discussed the position of Lord Shiva? Who is Lord Shiva? Anybody wants to answer? Can't hear? Oh, we can hear, yeah.
We can hear Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay. I just saw somebody on the chat. Yeah, so what is the position of Lord Shiva?
He's the greatest Vaishnava, Prabhuji.
Okay, one by one, please. Okay, greatest Vaishnava, yeah, Parama Vaishnava. Okay, what else?
Hare Krishna. Prabhu,
Yeah.
Shiva Tattva is somewhere between the external potency and the internal potency of Krishna.
Oh, external potency, internal potency. Okay, okay.
He is between the Jiva Tattva and the
Yeah.
Krishna Tattva.
And yeah,
Vishnu Tattva.
Vishnu
Yes,
Tattva. Yeah,
I meant that,
yeah,
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
yeah. So he's between Jiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva. Yeah.
Ajata Shatru.
Okay. Ajata
He's one of
Shatru.
the Purusha avatars, Prabhuji.
One of the Purusha avatars. Purusha avatars?
No, he's a Guna avatar.
Guna avatar. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Who is Shambhu? Who is Rudra?
Shiva himself.
Shiva himself.
Shiva himself.
Okay. So we have to understand these things technically. So I'm going to show something. Where is this? One second, let me stop shares. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so you're able to see this, right? What are you seeing?
Yes,
in the
Prabhuji.
Goloka chart, right? Okay, so now I'm going to explain some things here. Okay, so in general, we know this Devi Dham, which is the material world. And also part of the material world is also something called as Mahesh Dham. Mahesha is Shiva. So there's something called Mahesh Dham. And then we know that there is Haridham, which is Vaikuntha, and Goloka Vrindavan. I request all of you to try and read Brihad Bhagavatamrita if you have not already read. Okay, so and also there are a series of lectures on this Goloka chart by His Grace Gokul Chandra Prabhu. You can look for it on internet. Amazing set of lectures. There are 4 lectures, each I think 3 hours long, 2.5 hours long. If you have not heard, please hear. Absolutely important for us to actually understand this whole Goloka chart. Okay, so here you see something called a Sadashiva Loka. Now the Sadashiva Loka, actually it's not here in the geographically, it's not below, it's in this direction. Here you can see Ishana. So Ishana is also one of the forms of Vishnu. Okay, so here this material world comes actually, Mahesh Dham and all of them. So this Sadashiva Loka is actually a form of Vishnu. Sadashiva lives here. That is his Loka, called Sadashiva Loka. And then this is one planet of which one half is in the material world and the other half is in the spiritual world. It's Achintya, right? And the other half is Mahakala Dhama. Mahakala Dhama. Okay, and this Sadashiva is actually Vishnu. Okay, but when he comes in touch with material energy, and he comes in touch with material energy by choice. When he comes in touch with material energy, he manifests as Shambhu. Okay, so that is why, what does Brahma Samhita say?
Prabhuji is a
Kshiram.
combination of Shiva and Vishnu. No, Sadashiva.
No, he's not combination. He's just Shiva. He's Vishnu who has now become Shiva. You can see this verse, right? Yeah. Kshiram yatadadi vikara vishesha yogat sanjayate nahi tatah pritagasti heto yashambhutamapi tatha samupaiti karyat govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Just as milk is transformed into curd by the action of acids, but yet the effect curd is neither same as nor different from its cause milk. Curd is same as nor different. The same, but it's also different. So I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom the state of Shambhu is a transformation for the performance of the work of destruction. So Shambhu is a transformation of the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord is like milk compared to milk, and Shambhu is like curd. So he's transformed. He's not combination, he's transformed. So this Shambhu is the presiding deity of Mahesh Dham. Okay, this is from Brahma Samhita. Okay, now Shambhu, actually this purport is very nice. You can read it for 5.45 Brahma Samhita. So here, yeah, the purport of the Bhagavata shlokas, that is Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, etc., is that Shambhu, in pursuance of the will of Govinda, he is the greatest Vaishnava, and he's working in pursuance of the will of Govinda. He works in union with his consort Durga Devi by his own time energy. So, and This is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's English, so we might not be able to understand fully. This specifically adulterated reflection of the principle of the subjective portion of divinity. Yeah, very difficult to explain this. Sadashiva, in the form of the effulgent masculine symbol god Shambhu, from whom Rudra Deva is manifested. So Shambhu is the effulgent masculine symbol god. So he is the Linga. And his consort is Yoni. So now if we go back to this, so you see here Karanodakashai Vishnu is lying in this Karana ocean. He's in Yoga Nidra. Now when creation has to be affected, what does Karanodakashai Vishnu do? He glances over Rama Devi. He doesn't directly look at Maya. Because Maya is actually Parastri in that sense. So Vishnu is actually looking at his own Kanta, Rama Devi, his own wife, Rama Devi. And whose Chaya, Chayeva Yasya, Vivana Bhavana Vibhurti Durga, this Maya or Durga, is the Chaya of Rama Devi. So through his glance is now indirectly on Maya through Rama Devi. And his potency for creation, for the production of jivas is Shambhu, was Sadashiva, but then because he came in touch with material energy, he got transformed into Shambhu. And Shambhu is the father and Maya is the mother for all the jivas to give them bodies. And now this Shambhu, in the process of creation, we know that from Brahma appears, and then between the eyebrows of Brahma, when Brahma becomes angry, because 4 Kumaras declined to produce children, who manifested? Rudra. So Rudra is the destructive principle. Rudra is the destructive principle. Through Rudra, Shambhu himself destroys this material world. So he is the father and Maya is the mother. And then he only destroys. Expansion or a part of him called Rudra destroys. So we have to understand this Shiva Tattva, right? So many people are confused. Actually, this Kailas, where Shiva is actually sitting now, it's not actually Shiva's own abode in that sense. His abode is Mahesh Dham, as we saw. But actually, whose abode is Kailas?
Kubera.
Kubera, yeah. Kailas is Kubera's abode. Kubera is a great devotee of Lord Shiva. So, on his request, Lord Shiva is residing in Kailas. Now and then, I mean, this is the beauty, right, of Kailas. Now, when you see Kailas, so I'm doing some Kailas Parvat. Look at this. Where do you see all this description? All this, beautiful Kailas with so many beautiful trees and flowers and plants and animals and so many things. Like nothing can be seen to us. Nothing can be seen, right? Because it's the heavenly world, the heavenly realm. So what we can see, mundane people belonging to this material world, we can just see this, some kind of a hill and some snow and this and that and all that. And that is why actually nobody can actually climb Kailash. Nobody can climb Kailash. Because it is the abode of Lord Shiva is residing there. And even materially, actually, I've seen many videos where people talk about the unusual effects of Kailash, where, for example, your magnetic compass stops working. So it's in a different realm altogether. Right? It's in the heavenly realm, and we can't see really what is being described in the pages of Bhagavatam. So it's a very beautiful to actually understand how even things like heavenly planets are only achintya. It is just way beyond our understanding. So yeah, so here Narada, Shiva is instructing. Great Sage Narada. So this is the other thing we can actually understand. Narada is already, celebrated devotee and is the guru of so many other great Vaishnavas. He himself is such a great Vaishnava. But he is asking and Lord Shiva is answering. So we should always understand that, it's not that just because we gain some knowledge, suddenly we didn't become something great. I mean, the most important part of spiritual knowledge is what? The important part of spiritual knowledge is Vijnana. Gnanam, Vijnanam. What does Vijnana means? What does it mean?
Application of
Yeah,
Application.
practical, applied knowledge. Vijnana is applied knowledge, experienced knowledge. Actually, it's experienced. Once we have Gnana, then we apply that Gnana in our life and then we experience it. We have to experience the effect, whatever is being talked about. Then we have realized it. Realize means experienced it. That is Vijnana. So Gnana is okay. Gnana is good. But first thing is we have to have application. We have to apply the knowledge. And that is why Shravanam Kirtanam. So our process is Shravanam because we have to hear. First of all, we have to hear to know knowledge, to understand what knowledge is required. And then we have to try to apply that knowledge in our life. And that is the reason why Prabhupada's purports are always very practically oriented. They're very much oriented to help us apply these verses in our life. So we would apply, and then when we apply, we actually realize. We come to the platform of actually experiencing what is being told. That is realization. Okay, so bhakti. Now, what is the position of bhakti? Yeah, we go back to first canto Bhagavatam. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yatho bhakti radhokshaje ahituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. So, savai pumsam means human beings. Paradharma, supreme occupation. What is supreme occupation? Yato bhakti radhokshaje. Bhakti to adhokshaja. And what type of bhakti? Ahituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. It should be ahituki, no hetu, no cause, no reason. Krishna, I'm doing this bhakti, give me this, give me that. No. Apratihata, no obstacle, no hindrance. Only bhakti is ahituki and apratihata yayatma suprasidati. The Atma will be pleased. We actually experience real happiness. And how many types of bhakti are there? Every time I come, I speak about this topic so that we revise. How many types of bhakti are there? Okay, now I'm going to give you one more perspective to this. Yeah.
Sadhana bhakti and raganuga bhakti.
Okay, yeah, nice. So now we are going to hear a different perspective to this. Okay, today. So outside the Vedic or outside what is acceptable in Vedas, if somebody does any action which is not recommended in the Vedas, what is it called? When somebody does work which is not recommended in the Vedas, what is that called?
Adharma, Prabhuji.
Adharma,
Vikarma.
yeah, vikarma. Adharma or
Vikarma.
vikarma, both of them are okay. I'm very happy. I mean, all of you are very nicely philosophically sound. Okay, so vikarma. What is the next stage to vikarma? When a human being, actually, if one has to be a human being, what should he do?
Sakama Prabhuji. Sakama. Fruitive
He
activity.
should follow the
Has to follow
regulative principles at least.
Yeah, okay. So this is called varnashrama dharma. Okay. So if a human being does not follow varnashrama dharma, then he is not considered as a cultured human being as per Shastra. Okay. So what is this varnashrama dharma? Varnashrama dharma gives you karma. For every varna, there is karma. For every ashrama and varna, there is karma. Okay. And this karma is the prescribed duty. This karma can be done for initially sense gratification, right? By dharma, artha, kama, this chaturvida pala purushartha siddhyartham. So this is called this can be called sakama karma. Sakama, meaning with some desire to get some benefits, some sense gratification. Sakama. And what is the next stage? After
Nishkama.
sakama. Yeah. Nishkama karma. Nishkama karma. Nishkama means without any desire for any outcome, material outcome. Just doing duty, work as a matter of duty. Karmanyeva adhikaraste na phaleshu kadachana. What is the next stage?
Dovetailing every action to
Nishkama karma yoga,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
So next stage is karma yoga. Right? Karma yoga. Yoga means using the results in Lord's service. Okay. Now, I don't know how many of you have read or used to chemistry in your school, college. Now I'm going to give you some formulae. Okay, you're able to see my notepad?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so the starting platform is K3. K3 means karma. 3 times, or there are only 3 molecules and all the 3 molecules are karma. Okay, so this here you have sakama and nishkama. Okay, now the next stage, what we call is karma yoga. When karma yoga comes, what happens is B1, bhakti 1, karma 2. So this is called Mishra Bhakti, or it is called Bhakti Mishra Karma. Okay, now in other words, in English, what is this? This is we are doing karma and we are using results for Krishna and we are doing some bhakti, whatever our daily sadhana, 2 hours, blah, etc. Okay, this is called Bhakti Mishra Karma. Is this clear? Okay, now this has to be done by whom? It has to be done by a grihastha. Right? Grihastha. Grihastha life is from what age to what age?
From 25 to 50 years. Prabhu.
Yeah, 25 to 50 ideally. And in Kali Yuga, because nobody gets married so early, so maybe 55 to 55 or 60, maybe. Right? Now, in the initial stage of one's career, this is the initial stage of one's career, where there is lot of karma and there is little bhakti. This is for a devotee. I'm talking about a devotee. Right? Now, as he becomes older, so maybe he is now getting close to 45, 50, etc. Then what should happen? What is the next stage? B2, K1. So in this, say, 2 hours of bhakti, now as we make progress, as we age, what should happen? How many hours of bhakti we should do? How many hours bhakti?
More than 2 hours. 10 hours.
Okay, 8
8
hours.
hours.
Yeah, 8 hours of bhakti needs to be done. No, 8 hours. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has given us clear recommendation. So it has to be 8 hours of bhakti. Okay. Now this stage is a little bit moving towards what this stage is called karma mishra bhakti. Okay. Where there is still some karma. Because if you are doing 8 hours of bhakti, that means you are doing maybe 7 to 8 hours of work. And the other 8 hours is also used for bhakti related activities. So generally, in some sense, like karma is only 8 hours. So more bhakti becomes prominent and karma reduces. So B2, 2 molecules of bhakti and 1 molecule of karma. So 2 portions of bhakti, 1 portion of karma. So this is called karma mishra bhakti. And then this is as we go closer to 50. And then what should we do? We should exit grihastha. Correct? What does exit grihastha life means? Last class also I spoke about this. What does exiting grihastha life means? What should we
Leaving
do?
the
No, what should we do?
Taking sannyasa, Prabhuji.
detaching,
Taking
detaching
sannyasa.
from the
No
I mean,
sannyasa.
Prabhuji,
not
detaching from the attachment.
internally, Prabhuji.
Get your children married and wash your hands off. This is what it means. Okay? At this time, at this stage, you should exit your grihastha life. And you should enter vanaprastha. Means what? Now, how many hours you do bhakti in vanaprastha? Hmm? 16 hours bhakti.
All waking hours, Prabhu.
And then 8 hours is generally given for 6 hours sleep. Then whatever you're cooking, eating, blah blah, all the other stuff connected to the body. 8 hours. That is there throughout. It is okay. 16 hours bhakti. And this bhakti is called Kevala Bhakti or Shuddha Bhakti or Akinchana Bhakti or Abhyabhicharini Bhakti, etc. etc. Right. So this just means pure devotional service. This is okay. This is our path, human life. This is how we have to make progress. Of course, you can pull these years back, meaning you don't have to wait for 50, 60 years. If somebody is able to get out of karma, which means what? If you have just enough money to take care of your responsibilities, just exit. Of course, you should not exit whimsically. You should have engagement. You should have your 8 hours of bhakti in place, and you can exit. But you don't have to wait for 50 years or 60 years. The whole criteria is as early as possible. We have to actually finish our duties. And then we have to come to the stage of Kevala Bhakti, 16 hours Bhakti. And this 16 hours Bhakti, if one, Prabhupada says somewhere in some purport, if one does this for 15 to 18 years, what happens? What happens if you do for 15 to 18 years? Go back home, back to Godhead. Is that okay?
One gets detached, Prabhuji.
No, over. Go back home, back to Godhead, Baba. Detached from what? You're not here only to be detached. See, are you all clear? You want me
Hare
to
Krishna,
repeat
Prabhuji.
anything? Yeah.
A small clarification,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
please. Yeah.
So I am asking my own personal question.
Okay.
Now I am 70. Then
Okay.
so I have to leave.
No, you don't have to go anywhere. Okay. So
Okay.
see, in Kali Yuga, we are not expected to go. We don't have to go out of the house. Of course, if you can go and live alone, it's very ideal. But it's
Okay.
not mandatory. What is mandatory? 16 hours bhakti. Wherever
Okay.
you live, it doesn't matter.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
We must not be attached to the family affairs.
No, we should just be engaged in 16 hours bhakti.
Okay.
And where is the time to get attached then?
Okay.
There's no
So I
time at
said,
all, right? Because out of 24 hours, if you're engaged 16 hours in bhakti and 8 hours you're sleeping and other things, then where is time for material things, for
oh,
family
I do.
things,
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, yes.
right? Clear?
Understand. Okay,
Yeah.
clear, Prabhuji. Yes, Hare
And yeah,
Krishna.
if you can even, if you can go and stay by, actually, our acharyas recommend saying that when we age, if you can go and stay in Mayapur or Vrindavan, it's glorious, and do 16 hours bhakti there. But if that is not possible, it's okay. We can be wherever. We can be in Bangalore, we can be in Chennai, we can be wherever we are. But we should be doing 16 hours bhakti. Is this okay, everybody? Are we on the same page? Okay. No questions
Hare
means.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So, Prabhu, after 50, if we have to increase the number of hours as mentioned here, sorry,
Okay.
but
Let
in
me
today's
clarify. Let me
Kalika-
clarify one second. So it's not that at 50 we have to increase. So from in this during this time 25 to 50, 55, 60, whatever is our vanaprastha age stage, which we have to know now, which because we have children, We know how old they are. We know when we are going to get them married. And so that is our exit, Grahastha exit timeline. Okay. Now what we have to do is this 2 hours has to gradually keep increasing. Gradually. 2 hours, then we make it 3 hours, then 4 hours, etc. Right? And then by the time we come to this end of this Grahastha, we should have reached 8 hours. That's the idea. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
So as in Kali Yuga, like suppose kids are settled, they actually don't need you.
Yeah.
Finances are settled, but
Perfect.
and yet you are still into the mundane
No,
activities of
no,
running the house and all.
no, no,
So
no,
you're
don't do
only,
it. Wasting
I know,
life.
Prabhuji, but
Yeah,
yes, of course, we are wasting life.
yeah.
But do we still gather Sukriti to
Why do
be?
we want all that?
No, we
This is
don't
just
want
punya.
Prabhuji, but if it is so difficult, sometimes, being in Kali Yuga, yet how much ever we try, it is not,
Hmm.
to as per what is prescribed here. So do we
Okay.
still have some hope of, we don't want to take us next birth to have bhakti again and,
See, this is,
but
you
do
should see
we?
this. 15 to 18 years of 16 hours bhakti. I'm just putting it here more clearly for everybody's understanding. Perfection, going back home, back to Godhead, means this. 15 to 18 years of 16 hours bhakti.
Agree,
Every day,
Prabhuji.
right?
And
Yeah.
of course, we want to strive for that. And
Yeah.
actually, there's no reason why we shouldn't do it also.
Correct.
If my question is, if we are unable to do this for
Yeah.
whatever our shortcomings that they
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
do we have little hope? Of course, going back home is not possible that we know, but what hope do we have then?
No, yeah, I mean, so that is Neha Vikramana Shosti Pratyavayano
Yes.
Vidyate
So it
Salpam
is
Pesha
like
Dharmasya.
taking
So
birth.
whatever, how much ever progress we have made, maybe we come up to 60%, maybe we come up to 70%. Wherever we come, we'll come back again. Then, yeah, we'll take birth in the family of a devotee, and then again we'll make progress.
Because 16 hours of bhakti, still one can do, but still our mental that
No, that is the way
clutter
15 to
going
18
on.
years. No, that is why 15 to 18 years, Mataji. See, when we start this, no, it's not that day one only we are going back to Godhead, right? So in this 15 years, the absorption will increase,
Yes,
right? The absorption will increase to such an extent. Actually, just today in the morning, I was in another Bhagavatam class. I was discussing Prithu Maharaj, and Lord Vishnu gives some beautiful advice to Prithu Maharaj. So in that, actually, it says that Prabhupada is like hammering. He's hammering away, saying that, just become indifferent to spirit, to material life. Careless, indifferent. First is tolerate, and then saying become indifferent. And then he says, how do one becomes indifferent? By engaging in 24 hours bhakti. 24 hours bhakti means no material activity. So automatically that all that disconnection with the material world will happen if one engages. Our challenge is actually getting ourselves to 8 hours bhakti, because if you get yourself to 8 hours bhakti, not even 8, actually my life experience has been 6 hours. I got myself to 6 hours bhakti, and then it pushed me to disconnect. Of course, disconnect means not that I'm still not in Vanaprastha. I still have a daughter to get married, but yeah, because other things were reasonably in place, so I just exited my corporate life, right? So that will create that impetus, because bhakti is so powerful. So we don't have to worry about how, we just have to engage ourselves somehow. 6 to 8 hours of bhakti, if you are engaging, then automatically, yeah, we won't have this discussion, because that that quantum of bhakti is super powerful. It will take us through. Okay, so I'll go to the next verse. So because of that bhakti, so I just wanted to say what that bhakti whole realm of, how do we understand this whole thing. Okay. Krutvorau dakshine savyam pada padmam cha januni bahum bro prakoshthe kshamalam asinam tarka mudraya. His left leg was placed on his right thigh, and his left hand was placed on his left thigh. This sitting posture is called Virasana. In his right hand, he held Rudraksha beads, and his finger was in the mode of argument. Sitting posture described here is called Virasana according to the system of Ashtanga Yoga. Performance of yoga, there are 8 divisions: Yama, Niyama, controlling, following the rules and regulations. Then pranayama, then asana, pranayama, sitting postures, etc. Besides virasana, there are other sitting postures, padmasana, siddhasana. Practice of these asanas without elevating oneself to the position of realizing the super soul Vishnu is not the perfectional stage of yoga. Lord Shiva is called Yogishwara. Yogishwara, master of all yogis. And Krishna is called Yogeshwara. Yogishwara indicates that no one can surpass the yoga practice of Lord Shiva. So he's the master of all yogis, the perfect yogi. And Yogeshwara indicates that no one can surpass the yogic perfection of Krishna. No one can surpass. That is why he's Yogeshwara. Though Yogeshwara means master of all yogis, but still he cannot surpass Yogeshwara. Krishna. Another significant word is Tarka Mudra. This indicates that the fingers are opened and the second finger is raised, like we do argument. That is Tarka Mudra. Along with the arm to impress the audience with some subject matter. This is actually a symbolic representation. Anyway, so this is a description of how Lord Shiva was sitting. Tam Brahma Nirvana Samadhim Ashritam Yupashritam Girisham Yoga Kaksham Salokapala Munayo Manunam Adyam Manum Pranjalaya Pranemu. All the sages and demigods headed by Indra offered their respectful obeisances unto Lord Shiva with folded hands. Lord Shiva was dressed in saffron garments and absorbed in trance, thus appearing to be the foremost of all sages. In this verse, the word Brahmananda is significant. This Brahmananda or Brahma Nirvana is explained by Prahlad Maharaj. When one is completely absorbed in the Adhokshaja, Supreme Person of Godhead, who is beyond the sense perception of materialistic persons, one is situated in Brahmananda. It is impossible to conceive of the existence, name, form, quality, and pastimes of the Supreme Lord because he is transcendently situated beyond the conception of materialistic persons. It is impossible to conceive because materialists cannot imagine or conceive of the Supreme Lord. They may think that God is dead, but factually he is always existing in his Sachidananda Vigraha, his eternal form. Constant meditation. Look at this, constant meditation, concentrated on the form of the Lord is called Samadhi, ecstasy or trance. Samadhi means particularly concentrated attention. So one who has achieved the qualification of always meditating on the personality of Godhead is to be understood to be always in trance and enjoying Brahmananda. The key thing here is always meditating. Nityam. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So this Nityam initially means every day, and then it means every moment. So now we are doing Shravanam. If we are concentratedly meditating or attentive to what we are hearing, then this is Samadhi. Particularly concentrated attention. This is what we are doing, right? We have concentrated attention on on the subject matter, which is Supreme Lord. So this is Samadhi. But the important thing is that we have to keep extending this Samadhi such that it becomes always. Then one can experience Brahmananda. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim lavate param. Now, to come to this stage of Brahmananda, just experiencing the Ananda in Brahman, for example. How do we come to this stage? So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita tells Arjuna, Traigunya Vishya Veda. What is the rest of the verse?
Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna.
Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna.
Nirdvandvo
Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. What is this Niryoga Kshema? Not being anxious about our material life is Niryoga Kshema. So once somebody transcends, once somebody comes to this Traigunya Vishaveda, Nistraigunya, when he becomes Nistraigunya, when he transcends the modes, then he comes to this Brahma Bhuta. How do we transcend the mode? Krishna then says, Mam cha yo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena jo sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Sagunan samatitaitan. So he will transcend the modes. And where is he situated? Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. What does he experience when he is in Brahma Bhuta? Brahma Bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati tamas sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. So we should understand that only when we come to this stage of not being bothered about this material life, not being too caring, don't care, careless, careless about our material life. Actually, Prabhupada uses the word indifferent. When one comes to the stage of being indifferent towards material life, then he comes to Brahmabhuta platform. When he has no sochati na kankshati, when he is not lamenting, not hankering for anything material, then mad bhaktim labate param. Para bhakti, kevala bhakti, shuddha bhakti. He comes to the stage of getting pure devotion. As long as we are attached to this material world and things of this material world, which are aham and mama, isn't it? Aham mameti. Whenever one is attached to aham and mama, what is it? It's one of the nama paradas, isn't it? Have you heard? I'm sure you all have heard about nama paradas, right? So what is the last aparada? Even after hearing so many things about
Inattentive
this.
chanting.
Yeah, that is okay. The 10th one is even after hearing so many things about the glories of chanting and knowing that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, still being attached to aham and mama is the 10th offense. And so if we are materially too attached, actually in the second chapter, 7th verse, Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita says, Karpanya dosha pahata svabhava. He says, who is a kripana? A kripana is one who has got this charma roga, skin disease. Skin disease, meaning he's too attached to aham and mama. So if you're too attached to aham and mama, then bhogaishwari prasaktanam taya aparata chetasam. We can't make progress. So the only solution is cheto darpanamarjanam mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidya vadu jivanam. Cheto darpanamarjanam. So this Arishad Varga, this Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, these anarthas have to go. But the anarthas will not go if we are tightly holding on to Aham and Mama. So what is the idea of this Shravanam? The idea of this Shravanam is to actually hear and then apply. Oh, okay, we should not be overly attached to Aham and Mama. Okay, let me try. Krishna, please give me mercy. Guru Maharaj, please give me mercy. Prabhupada, give me mercy. This is the process. So Lord Shiva exhibited those symptoms, and therefore it is stated that he was observed in Brahmananda. The Lord Shiva also has a wife, but he is not attached. He is also just is in Brahmananda. Another significant word is Yoga Kaksham. Yoga Kaksha is a sitting posture in which the left thigh is fixed under one's tightly knotted saffron-colored garment. Also, the words Manunam Adyam are significant here because they mean a philosopher or one who is thoughtful and can think very nicely. So it's very important that we all become Manus. Such a man is called Manu, thoughtful. Lord Shiva is described in this verse as the chief of all thinkers. Lord Shiva, of course, does not engage in useless mental speculation, but as stated in the previous verse, he is always thoughtful regarding how to deliver the demons from their fallen condition of life. It is said that during the advent of Lord Chaitanya, Sadashiva appeared as Advaita Prabhu. And Advaita Prabhu's chief concern was to elevate the fallen conditioned souls to the platform of devotional service. Since people were engaged in useless occupations. What are useless occupations? Which doesn't give one time for Krishna consciousness is a useless occupation. Which should continue their material existence. Lord Shiva in the form of Lord Advaita appealed to the Supreme Lord to appear as Lord Chaitanya to deliver these illusioned souls. Actually, Lord Chaitanya appeared on the request of Lord Advaita. Similarly, Lord Shiva has a sampradaya. Rudra sampradaya is always thinking about the deliverance of the fallen souls, as exhibited by Lord Advaita Prabhu. Actually, if you read Chaitanya Bhagavat, we will see the description. World was just like what it is now, completely materialistic. Everybody is materialistic. And Advaita Prabhu was very, all the devotees were very disheartened, saying, nowhere there is names of Krishna. Nobody is chanting. Everybody is in their own life of sense gratification. So they were very unhappy. And though he was powerful enough to actually give bhakti to them, he said, no, Lord has to come himself. And then he prayed for Lord Chaitanya to appear. Sa tu palabhyagatam surasureshair abhivanditangrihi uthaya chakre shirasa abhivandanam arhattama kasya yathaiva vishnuho. Lord Shiva's lotus feet were worshipped by both the demigods and demons, but still, in spite of his exalted position, as soon as he saw that Lord Brahma was there among all the other demigods, he immediately stood up and offered him respect by bowing down and touching his lotus feet, just as Vamandev offered his respectful obeisances to Kashyapa Muni. Kashyapa Muni was in the category of the living entities, but he had a transcendental son, Vamanadev. Was an incarnation of Vishnu. Thus, although Lord Vishnu is the Supreme Lord, he offered his respects to Kashyapa Muni. Similarly, when Lord Krishna was a child, he used to offer his respectful obeisances to his mother and father, and then Yashoda. And also, when he was grown up, also he was offering when he was in Dwaraka. Also, at the battle of Kurukshetra, Lord Krishna touched the feet of Maharaj Yudhishthir because the king was his elder. It appears then that the personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva, and other devotees, in spite of their being situated in exalted positions, instructed by practical example how to offer obeisances to their superiors. Lord Shiva offered his respectful obeisances to Brahma because Brahma was his father, just as Kashyapa Muni was the father of Vamana. So what we learn from this is how to deal with superiors. So who are our superiors? Who are our superiors? Whom do
Guru
we call?
Maharaj.
Guru, yeah. Then who is the Guru? Yeah. When you say Guru,
Can be Shiksha
One,
Guru and the Diksha Guru.
okay, who is a Shiksha
yeah,
Guru?
those
Who
who
is a
guide us
Diksha
in the
Guru?
spiritual
One
path.
who guides us and
Those are those who guide us in the spiritual path.
Okay, guide. What is the difference between guide and instruct?
Instructor, they rather instruct.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's the proper word.
Yeah. Okay. So instruct. Guru means instruct. So whether it's Shiksha or Diksha, whatever, a Guru means instruct, one who instructs. And one has to, what should we approach Guru, senior Vaishnavas? What should be our mood?
We should be treated as equal to God.
Servant, Prabhuji.
I'm sorry.
Dasa, Dasyan, Das.
Okay.
we should be open to listening and
We should open and we should serve
keen
the Guru.
learner and open
Yeah.
to listening, Prabhuji.
Serve
Yeah,
the Guru.
stated in
We should
Bhagavad
give
Gita,
lectures.
Pariprashnaya Sevaya.
Okay, very nice.
Upadekshanti.
Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Okay. So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says, Diksha Kale, Bhakta Kare. What is the verse? Atma
Bhakta
Samarpan.
kare atma samarpan.
Yeah, Atma Samarpan. So, Guru means surrender. So, Guru means, superiors means no independence. What should we lose at the time of Diksha? We should lose our independence. How many of us are ready to lose our independence? Otherwise, there's no meaning in Diksha. If you are going to retain our independence, then that Diksha is just namesake. So Diksha means Atma Samarpan, meaning we gave ourselves. So what we should retain is intelligence. For what? Why do we need intelligence? We don't need independence, because that misuse of that independence is why we are rotting in this material world, isn't it? So we will give up the independence. We will accept whatever Guru is saying, his instructions. And then what do we do with our intelligence?
Prachar.
Serve the Guru. The
Yeah,
The
intelligence we
Guru is the only
use.
thing which
Maintain it.
guides us,
Maintain
Prabhuji,
a
and
self.
protects us
Hey,
from not being
one at a
fallen into.
time. One at a
To
time,
implement
please.
the Guru's instructions,
Ah,
we
yes,
need a
very nice. Yes, that's the point. We need intelligence to understand. Guru will say, go, do distribute books in book marathon, during book marathon. What do we do? Not sit at home. What should we do? We should go out and distribute books. And then we have to use intelligence. Oh, I have to distribute Bhagavatam. Everybody, then people will ask price. And then I say, okay, whatever, 8,000, 8,500. And then people will say, no, it's too expensive. And what should I do? I have to use my intelligence and be prepared to answer them, to convince them. To take Krishna home, not to buy Srimad Bhagavatam. Isn't it? So this requires intelligence. So subordination to superiors doesn't just mean, of course, we have to follow their feet. But external humility is useless. Just external humility, meaning no internal humility, only external humility. Now, we're always like our head is down only. And then somebody says, please do this service. Then we are also in this mood only. No, I am very fallen. I don't want to do this service. This is all natakbazi. This is not required. We don't want to become actors. We can be external humility. If it is there, it's very good. Very gifted soul has external humility. People like me, I don't have external humility, but I'm trying to develop internal humility. Because internal humility simply means that we have to just accept the instruction. I know so many devotees who actually, unfortunately, don't hear from their guru at all. Don't know what their guru wants. And even if guru says something, just write it off. Saying, it's okay. It's not for me. Any instruction from the lotus mouth of the guru, it doesn't have to be one-on-one. Please understand this. That is why this is Atma Samarpan. It doesn't have to be one-on-one. Even if it is in a class, if there's an instruction that comes, we have to have the humility to actually want to follow it. And then we use our intelligence. Prabhupada took so many years to be able to implement his guru's order, isn't it? But he didn't ignore. He didn't forget it. He was trying. He was preparing. It took him so many years of preparation before he could actually go to the West. So this is surrender. This is what is required. Unfortunately, this is missing in today's ISKCON. We all want to do whatever we want to do as bhakti. But Srila Prabhupada has very, very clearly given us path. Distribute books. Books are the basis. Prabhupada said, what is the value of your 3-minute preaching? He just discounted preaching. So just give my book. It will change his life. So since book marathon is coming, acceptance of superiors, what is being said here. Not just touching the lotus feet of the superior, but actually following their instruction is literally more than touching their lotus feet physically. And this is what we need to actually learn. And if we can learn this, then our life will anyway, we get mercy. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. What is the next line?
Yasya prasadana.
No, not yasya prasadat. Yasya prasadat. It is yasya aprasadat. Second line is yasya aprasadat. Again, all over ISKCON, I see people doing mistakes on this line. You should understand. Yasya prasadat. Yasya means whose. Prasada means mercy, or one is pleased. Second line is yasya or yasya aprasadat. Then when you join that, it becomes yasya prasadat. Aprasadat. Yasya aprasadat. If he doesn't become pleased, nagati kutopi. No other hope. Okay, so I'll stop here. If anybody has any questions, comments, feel free.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, can we take a few questions, Prabhuji, if you have time?
Yeah, please.
Devotees, anybody want to have ask any questions, please raise your hands.
It's all very clear. No doubts.
No, Prabhuji, this is a hard-hitting lecture, as usual, from you.
Hare
So
Krishna.
every time
Prabhuji,
you
we
come,
will have to listen to this lecture at least
yes,
2-3 times
again,
to first absorb it because it was too the knowledge was we know more or less, but it was so precisely and nicely explained. At least for me, I will be going back to the lecture again, if at all I can, have application in my life with, because it was really very precise on application. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Long way to go, Prabhuji. That's what
That's
always
true.
I feel after attending your lecture. Like long way just on the bottom.
That's what even I feel
Very,
when
very
I
heavy
read
class,
Prabhupada's
Prabhuji.
books.
Very heavy
long,
class.
But
very long.
this is what Prabhupada is telling, right? So we have to understand. Like when I give a lecture, that lecture, the first audience in the lecture is myself. That I'm speaking to myself because I'm far from where I have to be. So anyway, yeah, okay.
Prashanti Mataji, do you have a question?
Yes, Mataji. Can I
Yeah.
ask
Please,
Prabhuji?
Mataji.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So as you told, by 50 or 55, we should be getting settled now, Prabhuji.
Unsettled. Should
Unsettled.
be getting unsettled. Yeah, anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
What I mean to say is, you should settle
Yeah.
your kids, children, and as well as financially, however it is. So, if we ask even for financial settlement, so that we just only base on Bhakti Prabhuji, is that spiritual or material? Asking Prabhuji.
So you are asking that make me financially self-sufficient.
Both Prabhuji, so that the kids also are settled, and we also settle financially also. Before the time we really want to enter completely into bhakti. So is that spiritual or material, Prabhuji?
Okay, I can't answer that because it totally depends on your actual mood, right? Because if we are actually sincerely, seriously seeking this and we are also making the effort towards this, then yeah, then this desire may not be material. Right? So yeah, it depends on your mood. If your mood is pure, then yeah, you can consider it as a pure prayer. We can make that prayer.
And one more thing, Prabhuji, financially settled means how exactly the
Okay.
base should be, Prabhuji?
Okay, so I think, yeah, okay. So important question. How much is enough? How much money is enough?
Yes,
Can
Prabhuji.
anybody answer that question? Dil mange
With
more,
the rate of
isn't it?
inflation. Yeah,
Money
no,
is never
Prabhuji,
enough,
We
with
can
the
give
rate of
Prabhuji.
inflation.
150. We are
Yeah,
all very
money is never
intelligent.
money is never enough.
Prabhupada writes, money is honey. Prahlad Maharaj teachings, money is honey. Okay, so this is what I can just tell from my own experience because I don't know what others have done. I know of some devotees who actually didn't even bother. I know of some devotees in Middle East who they were so much of bhakti that they just didn't even bother, and Krishna took care of everything. Okay, I'm not at that stage, so I can't really say how it worked for them. But at least in our life, myself and my wife, what we did was we did some practical calculation where we said, okay, so this is our monthly expense as of now. And then we saw, okay, we have a daughter and she has so many years and she has so many more years of study, etc. And so factored in some cost of her studies, factored in some cost of her marriage, factored in, of course, then we made sure that we had medical insurance. My mother stays with us, so we made sure that she also has medical insurance. And then we said, okay, so practically, saying that we are not going to raise the standard cost of our living, we're not going to increase it, of course, with inflation, but not just like lifestyle change, not like just becoming more opulent life or anything like that. Okay, we will maintain, and we were at a fairly decent, I would say, lifestyle. So we said, okay, we'll retain this. We are not going to abruptly disrupt it. Because not everybody in the house might be ready for it. So we said, okay, if you want to continue just this, which was very comfortable, convenient life, and focus on bhakti, we said, okay, this is how much we need. And there are ways and means to do that, provided we have a corpus. We need to have some corpus, either it's a property or it's cash, something which is available with us. Then I can tell you what needs to be done, which is not something that is a topic for discussion on in a class. But there are practical ways by which these things can be managed. So I'm again just summarizing what I said. You have to have some sense of how much expenses your life requires. And then beyond that, we don't have to plan. Beyond that, we don't have to plan for, okay, if this happens, if that happens, that is sarvadharman parityaja. This itself is not complete surrender. But okay, living in Kali Yuga is very difficult to be, just, we don't have so much faith in Krishna. So okay, we do some planning. But beyond that, we don't try to plan for every contingency in our life and every possible situation. That we will leave it to Krishna. And so if you have some, either property or disposable income or some savings, from there we can go forward. And at least what I do is, for all the devotees who are taking guidance from me, I make sure that they are prepared from now itself. As in, guide them in that direction so that by 50, 60, they will be self-sufficient financially, and they're ready to move on with bhakti. Also, there is a way. If anybody wants to get into more details, you can contact me, because I mean, it's some, karmi stuff which I don't want to discuss here. Karmi as in go into some financial discussions and this and that and all that. So I don't want to do that.
Yes, Prabhuji. And one more thing is, so sometimes I feel the money I donate is very less. If I could have, if I had more, I could have donated more for the temple purpose. And so asking for that also is good or bad?
No, you ask for giving yourself to Krishna.
Yes,
Right,
Prabhuji.
that's the biggest thing actually. Atma Nivedanam. So instead of giving our money, on one end we can keep giving money, on the other end we can give ourselves. Of course, see, there are certain considerations. For example, we have 100 and we are giving only 5 to Krishna, and with some changes in our life we can give 20. We should try to do that, right? But
Yes,
yeah,
Prabhuji.
just saying that no, increase 100 to 150, then it again goes into this. These are all, these all seem like they're all connected to bhakti. But the problem with these things is that, it can just divert our attention. Sometimes suddenly say Krishna gave 1.5. Then suddenly one more thought comes into our mind. Why don't I buy this one new property? Or why don't I buy this, that, and, we get entangled in this material thought. So better not get into this at all. Right?
Sure,
So
Prabhuji.
whatever is there is there. Whatever I can give, can I give more? I can give more. But more and more focus needs to be just bhakti, bhakti, bhakti. See, what we are trying to do to Krishna, one more thing, slightly hard-hitting statement I'm making. If you want bhakti, let's ask for bhakti directly, no? Why are we asking Krishna to solve all these material problems? Doesn't he know that he needs to solve all these material problems if we need to do bhakti?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So let's leave the solution making to Krishna. And let's only put the problem which is directly, I want to engage myself 100% of my time in bhakti. Please shower mercy. He will then figure out, he knows what all needs to be fixed.
Yes,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you
So,
so much,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, can I say something to that?
Yeah, please.
Can I add something to that? Because many times in lectures I've heard that they say, that you can ask Krishna anything, but Krishna says, don't ask me for bhakti.
Huh? No, who says?
Yes, I've heard many.
Don't ask me for bhakti.
Yes, don't ask for me for bhakti.
Oh, Mataji. Okay. At least I don't know.
That's why I'm asking you, because you said just now, no, you can ask for bhakti. That's why I'm asking you.
Absolutely, we should ask. Laulyam ekam maulyam. I mean, our acharyas have said, if you want to ask anything, it is excessive greed to achieve Krishna. Of course, we should ask. Who else will we? I mean, what is this whole prose of bhakti? Atak Sri Krishna namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai sevan mukhi jiva swayam eva spuratyada. Swayam eva spuratyada. He is going to reveal himself to us. If you don't beg to him, what is the process of chanting that we are doing? Please give me service. Please give me service. We are asking only, no? What process of chanting is asking? If you don't ask, why is he going to give? It's a very simple thing. If there are two children in the house, one child is crying in mute. Mother doesn't even know that the child is crying. Another child is like screaming, top of its voice. Where is the mother going to run first? To the screaming child? So we have to cry. If we don't cry, we are not going to get anything.
Yeah, even I was thinking, we don't ask, then how are we going to get?
No, absolutely we need to ask. I don't know what was spoken in what context.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, maybe Mataji is still saying that if we ask Bhakti, he will sell himself. The Lord will sell himself.
No, but
So
why
that
would
may be the
anybody,
confusion.
no preacher should I
Yeah,
mean, we have
most of
said
the
saying
teachers say this, Prabhuji. Don't ask for bhakti. Krishna says, don't ask for bhakti. That's why I was a bit surprised.
Mataji, maybe. Hare Krishna. Mataji, they say that don't ask for bhakti because that Krishna doesn't give easily. Because
no,
once he gives
but
bhakti,
still, no, Mataji,
yeah,
Meenakshi Mataji, but still, why would you not ask? You should ask because he's not going to give it easily, no?
Yeah, that's
We
right.
have to beg for it. We have to beg.
You have to beg for it. I mean, why would, I don't know. I mean, at least I'm a bit taken aback by this. If somebody is saying that, I don't know, why would they be saying?
Mataji, Prabhuji, can I tell something about this?
Yeah, please.
So, Hare Krishna Mataji, maybe they would have said that Krishna will give mukti easily, but bhakti he will not give that easily. He will give us so many, means he will give bhakti, but after testing us so many times. So that's how the
But
context
still, I
must be.
mean, but still
Yes,
not.
Prabhuji, that's
But
what even I heard.
but anybody saying don't ask for bhakti is, anyway, it's not the right thing. Okay, we should
They
ask.
say because Krishna has said, ask anything, but don't ask me for bhakti. That cannot be given. Then how do we proceed?
We should ask. We should ask
Yeah.
because it's his free will. I mean, it's his mercy, not free will. Sorry, it's his mercy.
Yeah, thank you,
Causeless
Prabhuji.
mercy.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for for clearing our doubt. This was really heavy in our heart, at least in my heart. I used to always think, how can we
No. We should.
progress?
Oh my God. Oh, I mean, no. We should pray. We should beg. There's no other hope for us. I mean, if we don't pray to Krishna, what hope do we have? Yeah, we should. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Once again, thank you so much for all
Hare
your
Krishna, Prabhu.
engagement.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Prabhu, they normally say that if you want Krishna Bhakti, you should please Radharani or you should pray to Radharani. So that also is a little confusion because for us,
Radharani also.
connection is more like with Krishna. So it automatically doesn't come
No
for
problem. Then you
Radharani.
pray
So
to Krishna.
Krishna, no, Prabhu?
I
Or
pray to
direct?
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
See, there are various stages in this. I'm not going to get into all this. But yeah, there is non-different. You can pray to Krishna. If you, for example, some devotees have their Istadeva, right? Like some devotees are attracted to Jagannath. So then they'll pray to Jagannath. Some devotees are attracted to Balaram. They pray to Balaram. Some devotees are attracted to specifically Nityananda Prabhu. Then they pray to Nityananda Prabhu. Some devotees are attracted to Narasimhadev. So they'll pray to Narasimhadev. If you're attracted to Krishna, pray to Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay,
Thank you.
Prabhu, that means you can even ask Nityananda Prabhu for Krishna Bhakti?
Oh yeah. I mean, they came to give Krishna Bhakti, no? Chaitanya,
Yeah.
who is Nityananda? Balaram.
Yeah.
Balaram is Adi Guru. He is the first Guru, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely, we can ask.
Can ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also?
Oh yeah. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Krishna himself, but in the mood of Radharani. So he will more easily give than Krishna.
Yes, he's my favorite.
Krishna is
Prabhuji.
very rules oriented. He says Sarvadharman
Yeah,
Parityajya
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, take it. Free. No qualification required. Take it.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for clearing our doubt. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I feel very easy at heart now.
Okay.
And pray to Krishna.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can we end the session with prayers, Prabhuji?
Please.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय।
श्रीमद् भागवतम
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। हरे कृष्णा
Hare
प्रभु जी,
Krishna.
थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Pranam.
प्रणाम।
Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Pranam to everybody. Hare
Hare Krishna devotees. Shall I end the session?
Yes,
See you all
Mataji.
tomorrow at